the last 3 weeks of my mission, I was asking God, God, if anything I could do is just, maybe baptize or have somebody ready for baptism before I go home. Even though I might not see them, just have someone ready that we can get baptized to know that, that possibly you're still with me. Because I was really just troubled after 7 months of not having a baptism, and everyone else, having one around me, wondering, I'm a leader, I'm not supposed I need to be the example. But what's happening here? I'm doing everything I can. I did everything I'm supposed to. I've done every kind of tool to bring people to Christ, but it's not working. And so I pray to God many nights about it. And, I'm just like, what? Whatever be your will. I'll just keep being your missionary, and I will work these next few weeks until I go home. And I remember going by a complex to knock on a potential, and she wasn't there. And my companion and I were like, what? Let's go. She could make the appointment. And right before we left the apartment complex, a little girl who's probably, I'd say, 6 years old, stopped us and asked, "Excuse me, are you guys missionaries for the Mormon Church?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we are." Why'd you ask that? And she's like, "Well, my sister wanted to know because we should missionaries come over. You guys should come over and we used to feed you guys." And we walked on over, talked to her sister, and we found out that, this girl was taught the missionary lessons about 2 years ago, ready for baptism, but her dad told her no, because he was very much into his Catholic religion. And so we talked to her a little bit about it, and we asked her, do you have the Book of Mormon inside? And she's like, yeah, we still have it in our closet, but I haven't opened it up because I go to a Christian church now. And then I asked her, but do you believe the Book of Mormon is still true? And she said, yeah. And I asked her, well, would you be interested in kind of knowing the lessons a little bit more that you learned about 2 years ago? And she's like, yeah. And so we said, you know what? Okay, fine, let's do it. And we talked to her, and we found out the first day that the Book of Mormon was true. She knew Joseph Smith was a prophet of God. She knew it was written by prophets. And so wow, we found this investigator 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks before I go home. And it came to a point to where is between her parents' permission and between her deciding, this is a place to go. Because her friends were very much with their Christian church, and she was scared that they would, ridicule her or perhaps, persecute her. And that one lesson I mentioned to you, that was probably the biggest turn point for her life. I prepared my testimony. She knew then that she needed to be baptized, that this is the time. And at this time, I had one Sunday left before I'd go home. And so, with full faith, just hoping maybe she might say yes, I'd be like, you know what? What if you got baptized this Sunday? Would that work out for you? She said yes. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is happening. But I tried to keep my emotions in. I'm like, okay. And this is Thursday night. And so we taught her everything with the interview, with the program we did all ourselves, with her parents' permission, getting her whole family together, getting people invited. All within less than 3 days. And we had baptism on Sunday. And right now she's the only member in her family. Her grandpa is less active, but I think currently right now he is starting to get activated a little bit more, and her family is more worn up to the church. And the saddest thing though to see was to be able to tell her, you know what? Like I told you before, I'm almost done my mission. I'm leaving on Tuesday, but I want to tell you thank you. Told her about my story, what I was going through these past few weeks. And what I would give from that experience is that no matter what missionary you are, everyone is called to serve, to be the Lord's servant. And we all have the entitlement to have the Spirit to testify. If you can find a way to get into the Spirit, then you're just as good of a tool as an assistant to the president or his own leader. Because the Spirit's what converts people. And if you can find a way to talk with the Spirit, to bear testimony sincerely and truthfully, with all your emotions, then you will touch people's hearts. It's not by words, it's by the heart. And I wish I would have had more experiences like that, beginning my mission. But because I had it at the end, I always remember it. And I know now how I can bear sincere testimony. And I do know that the church is true because of that experience.